Here's everything you need to know about the 2023 DBX707 in just 5 minutes. This car is also available for purchase through lease or finance at Aston Martin GALPIN. Let's start by saying the asking price for the Aston Martin DBX707 starts at $240,000. This one as spec is $276,000. The name of this paint is Iridescent Emerald, and when I tell you this snatches people's cerebellum out the back of their skull, I mean just that. Now this interior is what I like to call peanut brittle with just a little dash of macadamia nut. No, but in all seriousness, it's actually called Copper Tan Metallic with mirrored stitching. I just had to put a little stank on it. You have this huge, massive grille to help with all that airflow, to help with the performance under the hood. Just imagine how fly you're gonna look when people get into your car and watch you hit that clear button to go into gear. Now, since Aston Martin is such a prestigiously exquisite British brand descendant, it's only right that everything in this SUV is the polar opposite of how us Americans do things, such as hop in the hood, which in America would be on the left driver's side, whereas in this, it's on the right passenger side. Even the sunroof buttons are opposite. In America, we push forward and backwards to open and close. In this one, you push up to close and down to open. Speaking of sunroofs, this panoramic roof extends all the way back behind the back seats, which obviously I rock with, but Aston Martin didn't just stop there. No, it put leather on the roof liner, which contrasts beautifully with this suede. Now that's what I call real luxury. Now we don't have a launch mode, we got a race launch mode, which gives us a 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, which is pretty crazy for an SUV with 23-inch rims. Now, although this is called a DBX707, technically it only has 697 horsepower coming from this 4-liter twin-turbo V8. The 707 comes from European measurements, which equals to 697 horsepower in America. And this exhaust note is exhilarating. It has you outside your body and going out of bounds real quick, so you gotta make sure you keep your medulla oblongata fully attached. You even have dual-pane window glasses on all 4 windows to help you tune out all the poor people that wanna come talk to you about their money struggles and problems that you can't relate to. Now, from the factory, we have these massive 23-inch rims wrapped up perfectly in these 325/30 Pirelli P0s. In the front, we have the same exact setup, just with a skinnier tire and rim at 285/35 with a rotor that's bigger than most Thanksgiving dinner plates at 16.5 inches, which also means you got an even bigger ceramic brakes in the front as well. We have touchscreen read lights in both the back seat and front seat. And for those who don't know, this is Aston Martin's first time making an SUV, and they decided to break every law of physics with it. People in the back can lock and unlock the entire car right here from the back seat. And speaking of locks, you don't lock or unlock this car from the door panel like you do in most other American cars. You do it right here from the center console, because this one is built differently, and that's by bare hand. Now, if you're a full mulatto avatar like myself at 6'10", here's how much legroom and headroom you'll have. You can even control your own climate controls along with your very own heated and cooled seats. You have a carbon fiber spoiler to help with aerodynamics and downforce. You can go to your climate mode and even pick how you want your air blown at you, with 3 different modes being focus, medium, and diffuse. Now, when you're coaching people how to open your doors, it's gonna sound something like a gym set, because you just push and pull. Now, to access your drive modes, all you gotta do is spin this wheel like the Wheel of Fortune, and you'll access all 5, which are Terrain, Individual, GT, Sport, and Sport Plus. You can fold down the back seats at the same time by hitting these 2 buttons in the trunk. This is the wet clutch transmission that is beefed up to handle all that extra horsepower and torque. To pop the trunk, you just hit this little button above the license plate. No one will ever have to slam your doors ever again, because your Aston Martin has soft closing doors. This SUV gets a little squirrely on the back end when you start to go real crazy, but this car does a great job of saving you from yourself when you're getting a little too extracurricular. So let's go over a few of my personal pros and cons. It's actually fun to drive, and it feels like a sports car, but only an SUV. The key fob fits the price tag. The double sun visors made of suede and leather. Front armrests can move individually and collectively. And last but not least, the color of the steering wheel matches the interior. Now, my cons are all the buttons on the center console are a bit overwhelming. The turn signal is cheaply made and doesn't fit the interior or price tag, along with the trunk close button. The infotainment screen isn't touchscreen, which is crazy for the price tag. I don't like the memory seating placement button, because it's like reading Braille. You can't see them, you just have to feel for them. Now, since my pros outweigh the cons, I'm definitely gonna have to say this is worth the buy. And that's everything I think you need to know about the 2023 Aston Martin DBX707 in just 5 minutes.